trying to find you guys the coolest, nicest motor coaches in the world. And today we're at the Newell Coach Factory in Miami, Oklahoma. And we found a special coach. We're here with Phil Cornelius from Newell Coach. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Andrew. Always good to see you.
Well, always great to see you, but really great to see the latest and greatest coming out of the factory here at Newell Coach.
Yes, this is a real jewel.
Yeah, this custom mid-entry coach has a lot of really cool cues. We got a chance to briefly look over it, and I'm fired up about this coach. The first thing I want to point out is this kind of checkerboard pattern.
Checker flag, yeah.
Ghosted into the paint here. You can kind of see it at different angles. I don't know if the camera's catching it. This is Ryan Lauk's custom design number 97 here. And this is a 2026?
2026, yep.
What's the story on this coach?
This is coach number 1840, 2026. It was custom ordered. We had a situation where we had some of our other customers that brought their friends along, and they decided to order a coach. They were very involved in the design process, both for the interior and the exterior. Had some definite ideas of what they would like and really knocked it out of the park. The inspiration for the exterior was the Pagani automobile. He took some ideas from that and incorporated it into the coach.
Well, they did an amazing job, and I've seen a lot of the best and the best, but this is a coach that I'm just really excited about. That checker flag, not only did we see it in the paint, but on the dash, there was even a checker flag on the digital dash, and so many features that Newell Coach is doing, and you guys are always improving. Every time I come here to the Newell Coach Factory, I feel like you're just raising the bar a little bit more.
That's what we got to do. We got to keep your audience interested.
Well, I think they like what you're doing, and that's why they keep buying so many Newell coaches. And, you know, when we look at supply and demand in the luxury motor coach market, Newell Coach has a very large demand and low supply. What's the current weight if someone wanted to custom build a brand new Newell coach?
Well, right now, if somebody were to reserve a position, it would be somewhere in the November of 26 that they could get a 27 model. By the time this airs, it could be later than that. So.
Now, you do have a few show coaches coming through the cycle as well?
Yeah, we've got 4 show coaches for the winter, and right now those show coaches are available, but you can't take delivery of them until we've had a chance to use them at the events that we've already committed to. So yeah, there's 4 show coaches. Those show coaches usually go fairly quick once they're on display.
Yeah, and I know there's a few pre-owned in inventory right now. I love the orange. I think orange is really coming back into style. And if someone really likes orange and they're looking for a 22 with a matching stacker trailer, right now Newell Coach 1738 is available here at the Newell Coach Factory.
Yes, that was a coach back in 21, 22 that was very customized as far as the paint goes. So that coach is now available. It's back on consignment.
Yeah, great opportunity for someone. And I want to talk a lot more about the new coaches and what you're doing, but what is the warranty for Newell Coach on new coaches and on pre-owned coaches?
Well, they both have a 2-year warranty, but on the pre-owned coaches, they're a little different in that after the first year, there's a $100 deductible per item. And then also, there are some things that have like a 90-day warranty, like the electronics on the pre-owned. Whereas with the new coaches, we cover everything for 2 years. And then you've got the engine warranty, which is 5 years, transmission 5 years. The main thing that we like to let people know is that warranty is only available on coaches that are sold through Newell Coach. And it's generally 8 years and newer from the current year model that they apply to. There's several advantages to buying from Newell. One is that they're going to get a PDI, a pre-delivery inspection, from qualified factory employees, some of which have been here for 30 years plus. They know what to look for, and then those items are actually addressed here at the factory. They're also going to get a preventative maintenance done by Newell technicians, and then they're going to get a factory orientation, which is invaluable. If you buy from a third party or a private seller, chances are you're not going to get any of those things, but you're going to be in such a hurry to get on the road, you're not going to get that orientation that you need.
A lot of value to the Newell Coach Factory here. I mean, your employee retention is incredible. You know, the average amount of time of folks here, not only in production, but then in your service department is just unlike anything out there. And a lot of your guys in service started in production.
Yeah, a lot of them, yeah.
Something to really be said about all of the wisdom here at the Newell Coach Factory. And we're doing some other videos on the design process. We had an opportunity to interview your engineering team and design team and talk about the whole process of custom ordering a coach. So we'll make sure to leave that in the description below. But let's take a closer look at Newell Coach 1840 here. What else is going on?
Well, as I said, they were a little more involved in the design process than maybe some customers are. They had some specific ideas that they wanted to incorporate. And we've already touched on some of the ghosting, where it can appear and disappear and reappear, even with a different shade to it. So really sharp exterior.
Talking about that kind of racing theme, we see so many Newell coaches at different racetracks, whether it be NASCAR or Indy or the motocross guys. Newell's really a favorite in the motorsports world. What is it about Newell Coach that attracts those motorsports folks?
Well, it's not just the fact that we're a very heavy-duty built coach. Contrary to what some people may think, the Newell has the highest gross vehicle weight rating as anybody in our industry. We have a 63,300 pound gross vehicle weight rating, for example, whereas our closest competitor are the bus conversions, and they're at like 55.5. Our coaches come off the line at around 59 versus some of the bus conversions come off the line already overweight. There's a big difference from just the foundation, and then you get into the room inside. These guys want as much room as they can get inside when they're at the track, and there's nobody that has the floor space that a Newell has.
Yeah, and talking about that heavy duty weight, you've got a 25,000 pound towing capacity, leading towing capacity in the Class A industry. I assume that heavy duty gross vehicle weight contributes to that?
Yes, that's all rated. There's certain testing that has to be done for it to achieve that rating.
And I see a temporary tag on it. I heard the owners already took delivery of this coach, did their shakeout cruise, and then are allowing us to have the opportunity to tour this. So a huge thanks to the owners of this coach for this opportunity. But this is a little bit newer styling than we've seen in the past here. What has Newell done recently to...
We changed both the rear gate and the side doors. They chose to go with the stainless on top, but we have it to where if you choose not to go with the stainless, it's all smoothed out instead of having a recess for the stainless. And then the Newell badge before was just the stainless letters attached to the body. Now we've got it recessed so that they can be recessed in the gate. You've got this all cleaned up so you can extend your paint job into the back of the coach.
Yeah, really sleek design, and this having a Porsche designed exterior, one of the best looking machines on the road.
Yes, it's funny, a lot of my prospects, they call me, I just saw a Newell in wherever, they can pick them out.
Yeah, they definitely command attention everywhere they go. And if you don't mind, I'm going to pop this rear engine hatch. I like the ease of just having those two little grab handles, and just super easy to access that huge X15 Cummins, 605 horsepower.
Right, 1,950 pounds of torque.
Biggest horsepower in the industry as well.
Right. Yeah, and most serviceable in the industry as well.
We've talked about that. Cummins has quite a few repair centers.
Yeah, the last time I checked, it was somewhere in that 3,700 in North America, and I was comparing it to the Volvo that's used in the bus conversions, and there was like 450 of those. Cummins also has what they call coach care facilities, where they'll do work on some of the RV side of the coach, like generators, and each one can determine how much they want to go into the RV side. But they know that with all the motorhome customers that have Cummins, they've got to cater to that group, and they understand that.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting inside of this coach, but can we open up the bays real quickly just to kind of get a quick look at it? And being a mid-entry, this is going to have some advantages and a little bit different base configuration than what we would see in the front entries. So I know it was an improvement to add these switches here so that we can bring the power slide tray super accessible here on the bay door. We're also going to have a remote and then another hardwired switch, and huge cooler up front here.
Yeah, the mid-entry, you still have a great deal of storage, but it's just broken up differently than it would be on the front entry. You have two bays here. They're a little smaller than the bays that you have on your front entry, but you have another bay back here that goes all the way across. You pick it up over here.
Yes, sir. And you still have your TV bay, and we'll show off a little bit on the inside, but this has the projector as well. We saw on the Tampa show, Coach, last year where it can be an outside, almost like a movie theater out here.
Right, yeah. At night, you could have both TVs going and watching the race or watching whatever the people want to watch.
I noticed a sound bar mounted to the TV, and you've got a dust cover on it right now, but I'll pull that off here real quick just to show off. What is that, about
That's a 55 inch.
55 inch?
Yep.
Yeah, and then what's going to be housed behind this TV here?
Yeah, back here, this is the same water bay that we have on the front entry. It's just we've moved it up from where it would normally be. This has also got the macerator built in. It's got the AquaHot 675D. That's another thing, that there's a difference in the AquaHot models. This is a much heavier duty model than what you would see normally on the Class A motorhomes.
And I've got to compliment just how clean everything is inside of this bay. You know, when you look at behind these panels here, it's just very well put together. If a technician does need to get back there and work on something, it's going to make their life easier.
Plenty of room.
And what's the holding tank capacity in this coach?
In this coach, we have 142 gallon freshwater, 142 gallon wastewater.
Combined gray and black wastewater?
Yes, combined. Yeah, it's all in one tank. That way you get to take advantage of all your capacity rather than having to dump and then not be able to take advantage of the whole 142 gallons.
Coming behind now with the mid-entry door, this is kind of a little bit of the give and take. You've got to have this bay closed to be able to open the door there. So there's obviously going to be some give and take.
Right, right. And what you can do is a lot of the items that you don't normally get to can go here.
I noticed a manual slide tray here, so a little bit different. We saw power slide trays up front. What would the reasoning be for having a manual slide tray here?
Well, it's not wide enough to have the electric feature. We do make a mid-entry floor plan with one real large bay there and then a larger bay back here. And in that one we move the door forward. Another advantage with Newell is the customization. You've got much more customization than you do on other platforms.
Yes, when we had a chance to interview Nathan and James from your engineering team this morning, I'm always so impressed by everything I learned from those guys and how much they're able to just push the industry. You know, I know in a mid-entry a few years ago, they weren't doing any mid-entries with 2 full bathrooms with 2 showers or with bunks, but your engineering team's figured it out, though.
Yeah, there's been quite a few interesting floor plans developed over the years.
And even in the last couple years, I mean, you guys are just raising the bar every time we come visit you.
Sure.
Probably a good spot for maybe golf clubs or longer, more narrow items as well.
Yeah, fishing equipment, cleaning, brooms, all kinds of
ladders. I've seen some of the custom stuff the Newell Coach team has done, so I'm sure if there's a will and a checkbook, you'll figure out a way here at Newell Coach.
Absolutely. This is the battery bay. We've got the house batteries here. Chassis batteries are backed by the engine. And then this is the fuel fill for the passenger side. Just like all the others, we have the camera on the door so that you can see the pump whenever you're pulling up to it.
Yeah, right there. And you could fill that 200-gallon diesel fuel tank on both sides of the coach?
Both sides, yep.
That'll save you a few minutes at the diesel.
It does, it does.
Sir. People don't think about how long it takes to fill up 200 gallons. I mean, it's great to have all that fuel. You can get halfway across the country, if not longer, but it does take about a half hour or so with just one pump. But if you get 2 going at the same time, you can probably cut it to about 15 minutes. Coming around to the front end of the coach, I love the way Newell's been bringing their paint jobs since about 2022, I believe, was when they started bringing these paint designs through the front end. And what an aggressive, just cool looking front end here.
Oh, when that sun hits that orange, it's really striking.
And then we have a backlit Newell Coach badge as well. Right. But I know you're excited to show us off that new generator.
Oh yeah, we've got a new generator.
In a quiet box here.
We've got the Durawatt generator. It's a 20 kW diesel generator, just like the ones we've used in the past. We started using it on the 26 models, so we've had quite a bit of time to see how the response is going to be, and the customers love it. It's quieter, it's cleaner. The nice thing about the Durawatt is that it meets the EPA standards, the Tier 4 standards. There's no need for DEF and there's no need for particulate filters on the generator itself. They're very popular in the marine industry, medical fields. They're backup generators for hospitals, military. So it's a great product.
Yes, sir. Does this have a fire suppression system?
It does. It's got a fire suppression system built in, and then it's also got a spare fire extinguisher as well in this area.
Okay, and that's going to be the fire suppression system for the generator.
That's right. Yep.
Then we've got twin air compressors down there.
Right. That way you've always got a backup.
You've got a lot of pneumatic air systems on this coach, so you need to make sure you've got that air if you need it.
Yeah.
It's something we don't talk about a lot, but something that really separates Newell Coach from a lot of the Class A motorhomes out there is there's actually pneumatic air slide seals that inflate when they're in the in or out position, and then they have to deflate when the slide rooms are running, but that really creates a seal that helps keep the climate much more stable, so you don't have air leaking out of, flanges in your slide rooms, and also makes for a much quieter ride when you're going down the road as well, having that tight seal.
Right, and it allows for some flexing as well, just like all the coaches need. But the other thing that it does, whenever it doesn't just deflate, it vacuums. So it vacuums that seal very tight, so there's no chafing when the room's coming out. Valid's been around for a long time in there. As I've mentioned before, they're one of our best vendors. They really support us and support our clientele well.
I bet you guys spend a lot of money with Valid.
No, we do. We do. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 slides on every coach, 26 coaches a year. It's probably about 100 slide rooms a year. So.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Yes, sir.
More than anyone else in the industry. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now, I want to point out, I'm starting to see, I don't know if the camera's capturing it, but I see more of that checker flag look, more in the shade, but then once it hits the sun, it kind of disappears.
It depends on what angle.
Yeah.
It'll disappear in some angles, reappear, and then it'll change colors even, or shades, whenever you see it again. It's awesome.
We're seeing a lot of ghosting effects, drop shadows, fades, just the Newell Coach paint department just really keeps knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, those guys are extremely talented. I'm amazed every time I go in. I see them freehanding pinstripes, and it's like, I'm just amazed.
Yeah, Tim and his team are extremely talented.
They are.
And Ryan Lauk's doing the design work. You've got a great team in your paint department.
Yeah, it's a great combination.
I'm excited to get to the interior of this coach. We'll go through these bays here real quickly. I like seeing this when we have the slide tray out to the other side. You can see the mechanism that they use for that motorized slide tray. It's just a simple, like a bicycle chain with an electric motor, very simple, but then you've got this aluminum frame here that's very robust. Not really an overcomplicated system, but does what it needs to do.
Oh yeah, and it can handle a lot of weight. I forgot what the capacity is. I think it's like 1,200 pounds or something.
I know when I put my bicycle chain through as a kid, and I bet you this doesn't get nearly as much wear and tear.
Yeah, no, it's a great system. We've been using them for years.
Are they problematic at all, or?
Not really. You don't see anything breaking there. Where you might see some problems occasionally is just in the electronic side of it. If a remote control didn't work, of course, we're hardwired in now, so that's not a.
It's probably a battery in the remote is probably the problem.
Yeah.
Next bay here, this will come out both ways as well.
Yeah, this will come out. No need to bend down to get in. Just push a button and it'll all come out to you.
Now, talking to Newell Coach owners that have purchased new coaches, are they even using the remotes anymore with this?
Probably not. Yeah, I can't see a reason to do it, but we put them in there just in case. Yeah,
I don't think I've used a remote yet. Since we started filming these newer coaches, we've just always used the door.
Yeah, it's much easier, and but typically you don't need the remote. This is the water bay. The water bay again is moved up because of the mid-entry. We've moved it up to where it's right behind the 2 front storage bays. There's the 120 volt water pump, a 12 volt backup up on the wall. As I mentioned, we've got a macerator on the other side, so if they find themselves in a bind and they need to use the macerator, they can. Got the exterior water faucet, the gray water bypass. If they're dry camping, say they're at the race and they need to get rid of some of that gray water and not have it go into the tank, they can do a bypass and it'll just go onto the ground, or they can attach a water hose and have it run off someplace else. And then this is the electronics bay. Normally you find this bay on the front entry on the other side. This bay has got the N1 system.
And then these new twin 5,000 watt Victron inverters, I think we saw those for the first time when we saw you out in California earlier this year. How have folks been responding? That's a much bigger power package than we saw before.
It's nice to be able to have the additional inverted circuits, but there's also some technology in it that allows a different kind of transfer than the mechanical transfer from shore power to generator. It senses what it is automatically, and then it makes the switch itself.
Yeah, I know you guys are always improving, just trying to make life easier for the end user.
Yeah, and with the lithium battery packages now that last a lot longer, we can up the size of the inverters as well.
I thought I saw AGM batteries in here, but are you doing a lithium battery option as well now?
Yeah, we do a lithium package. They have the choice. I think it's like a $20,000 option. If they're going to be just going from pole to pole, it's not necessary to have the lithium. It's just a personal choice.
And I think with those twin 5,000 watt inverters, if you were like going down the road and you didn't want to run your generator for some reason, you'd probably run one of your ACs off of just the inverters.
Yeah, you can run one of the ACs, and you're not restricted to just a particular AC. You can choose which one.
Oh, that's really nice.
And then, of course, this is the bay that we saw on the other side that has the manual slide master.
Fishing, pole, and golf club.
That's right, that's right. And then this is the driver's side fuel bay. The fuel and the DEF are here. The DEF tank is where it belongs, right next to the diesel. You've got a 200-gallon diesel fuel tank, 21 gallons, I believe, on the DEF.
As nice as the exterior of this coach is, they put a lot of thought into the interior design.
Oh, they did.
You think
They
we
really
take a look
did.
at the interior?
Let's go take a look.
Sounds good. We're gonna pull the coach inside, put the slide rooms out. You guys are gonna like this one. Phil, this is another incredible Newell coach. The Newell coach team never ceases to amaze me with their designs. What's the story with this coach?
Well, the customer had a big part in the design process with this coach. We want our customers to participate at the level they're comfortable with. Obviously, Amber can take their ideas and turn it into a masterpiece. These clients were actually friends of some clients that had a Newell and then went to a bus conversion and decided to sell their bus conversion and come back to Newell. They brought their friends down to look at the plant and look at some of the coaches we had. It was a Sunday afternoon. I can remember them calling and say, "Hey, are you at the plant? Can we come take a look?" I said, "Come on." So they drove down, and this couple decided once they saw the product, they saw the mid-entry model, loved it, and placed their order. Now, they were very hands-on with the interior design. They had some things that inspired their interior, and we'll touch on some of that as we go through.
Yeah, I see some Fendi decor.
Yes.
Very high-end, almost like a spa-like feel.
They had a picture of a very high-end home that have some of the features in here. For example, the ceiling, they have the slats that are tighter and going crossways with an intentional seam, which you don't normally see. And it kind of breaks it up. And in that photograph, you could definitely tell it was done that way. And there were some other things that they did. The coach is designed to entertain out at the track, but also be a very warm and inviting coach as well.
Yes, sir. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot of mid-entry Newell coaches, not only at the racetracks, but in the resorts. And what percentage of your production is mid-entry, and what's the big draw to the mid-entry?
It's been a 50-50 mix, but actually over the last year or so, we've seen more mid-entries than we have front entries, and there's a little bit of ebb and flow there. But the draw is once people see one, and we've also changed the floor plan a little bit that has made it even more attractive, but once people see the advantages of it, they're sold. Once they come in and they see how it's just a more livable floor plan than the front entry. And we're the only ones that routinely build as part of our standard package the mid-entry. There's nobody in our class that does that. We're kind of the only option when it comes to having a mid-entry that's a proven floor plan.
Well, you've really stepped up your floor plans. We recently saw a mid-entry with bunks in it. We also saw a mid-entry with 2 full bathrooms with 2 showers in it. So
right.
Newell's gotten even more creative and more flexible. I think you guys don't like telling your customers no. You guys figure out a way to get it done, it seems like.
Well, we're at an advantage because we do build it from the ground up. We have more floor space than anyone in our class because we're building the chassis from the ground up, flat floor slides throughout the coach, more floor space from front to back to work with. Because of that, we don't run the DPF filter and all the exhaust through the rear of the coach to, which eliminates a big bathroom. We put all that underneath because we can do that. That's an advantage that we have to be able to customize to that extent.
Well, then, the other advantage of the mid-entry, is when we have these front captain's chairs spun around and there's no door here.
Right.
It just gives it a completely different feel in this part of the motorhome, it seems like.
Well, whenever someone comes in or out of the coach, they're not interrupting this area. If you have people in here having a conversation, we're not having to get people to move out of the way. Or if you're just bringing groceries in and out, it's much easier to come in that mid-entry, put them in the kitchen, and you're done. But the livability allows for more entertaining, more people to sit comfortably and talk. Or just watching TV. There's no interruptions, with people coming in and out of the coach that way.
Well, and I've also heard, if you have guests staying, maybe the grandkids are coming along and maybe sleeping in a little bit, and you want to go out and walk the dog, you can just slide out that mid-entry. And
absolutely,
something to be being said about not having to walk 45 feet to get out of the coach. You can just walk about 20 feet from wherever you are at in the coach, and you can get out.
Right, and you're not going to interrupt whoever is in here sleeping.
And then also, too, I've heard, a lot of the passengers really like the mid-entry, not having that stairwell or having to deal with the step cover. You've got your own, place, which is great, especially for pets. When traveling with pets,
right,
you're not worried about them kind of going down that stairwell. Just a nice space up here.
Well, and when you pull up for fuel, the passenger doesn't have to get out of the seat and make adjustments. They can stay right where they're at if they want to. So you've got that advantage. You've also got a screen door on the mid-entry that you don't have on the front entry. Also, the awning, the patio awning goes over the entryway, which you don't have on any of our class coaches. You don't have an awning that goes over the front door. Again, several advantages. People ask what's the disadvantage. Even with the mid-entry, we have more floor space than any of our competition, but you do lose some of that linear space to work with cabinetry. So you'll lose a little bit there, but the trade-off, obviously, with our clients, they're willing to make that trade-off. The other thing that's a little different from the front entry is that on the front entry, you have 2 full pass-through bays. With the mid-entry, we have to break all that up. You got about the same amount of storage space. It's just broken up into 3 bays that are a little smaller, depending on the floor plan. There's some give and take with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming back to this coach, I'm noticing just a lot of cool new design cues. I'm noticing the double diamond stitch pattern with the perforated leather, and this almost has it's almost like a distressed leather if you look closely. Or is there a crocodile pattern, or what am I looking at?
Well, if you look very close, and this is where they brought in some details that they wanted to do. You'll see this on the seat as well as the footrest of the sofa. But if you look real close, it's an embossed leather, but then just on the edges, just a little bit of embossed snakeskin pattern. We did the same thing on the tops to the dash, the leather dash there. So some little things there, and as I mentioned, the ceiling was different. As we get walking toward the back, you'll see some things you don't always see on a Newell, like hardware for the drawers, for the drawer pulls and doors instead of just the spring-loaded latches. A lot of little details that really make this coach stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. And this specific mid-entry floor plan seems to be one of the more popular floor plans, having the sofa and dinette on this side and then no cabinets overhead. So we've got an unobstructed view out of those huge Newell coach windows. Typically the patio side is going to be where the view is, and usually your connections and hookups are on the driver's side.
Right, and in this case, we also have the projector, and you'll have a projection screen on that side that'll come down, and that projection screen allows you to watch while you're inside, but also you can reverse the image, shine through the opaque screen, and turn your outside window into a big screen TV.
One of the coolest features we've seen in a motor coach, and again, I think because of the way Newells are configured, I haven't even seen your competitors copy you. They must have some sort of restrictions. I did see a competitor, they had a projector kind of on the outside of a stacker trailer or something in a campground easily, but to have it indoors, hardwired, and then right on that window, if you want to be the star of the campground, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, again, bus conversion industry, there are just so many restrictions. You can see the ceiling height here. Well, that allows us to have bigger windows, which allows us to have a bigger TV screen. Again, being a manufacturer that builds from the ground up, we get to make decisions on the styling, on the structure, everything about the coach.
And that seems to be a really popular option to be able to have that monster big screen outside of your TV. Do you know what the dimensions are of that window?
From coach to coach, there may be slight differences in the dimension, and they make the adjustments on the projector to fit that dimension. But I'm not sure on this one. It's looking like about a 60-inch screen.
Better be ready for your neighbors to want to come hang out when you
That's
fire
all right.
that up. You'll get their attention.
We still have the TV in the bottom, so you could have two, if you're watching races or watching a football game on one screen and the races on another, you've got that option as well.
Definitely set up for entertaining, but what else is going on here inside this coach?
As we talked about earlier in the year, we introduced some new features for the 2026 models. We've got the larger CCI screen here that is going to provide more information than our previous year models. We moved the iPad that used to be in this area on the mid-entry. It's going to go up in the overhead above the passenger, so the passenger can access that. It's GPS ready. The CCI screen has some of the same functions that it's always had. You've got the mirror control here that you can use with the touch screen, or the dial over to your left when you're driving. You've got the camera screen that allows you to see different views. We've got the lights off outside, so we may not be able to see. Climate control for the dash area, as well as the passenger's side. The passenger also has controls for their side, so you've got that.
Now, I know a lot of motorhomes struggle to keep that dash AC cold. They're running off of a compressor that's 45 feet to the rear, and then by the time that air gets to the front of the coach, a lot of times it warms. But when I'm in a Newell coach, it just seems like that AC is just blowing ice cold. What is it about your dash AC that's different than other motor coaches out there?
I don't know what the problem is with the others, but having worked for different companies, I know what you're talking about. Dash cooling and dash heating has always been an issue, and when you've got Freon moving 45 feet, if there's a leak anywhere in it, you've got problems. The other thing that we do, so that it doesn't have to work so hard up here, we've changed the distribution of the airflow with our roof AC so that we're getting cold air coming straight down into the cockpit. This area is going to be the hottest because of all the glass, and so we've actually made the air conditioning more efficient. We're using more of the capacity of the roof airs by increasing the flow up here. So those two things allow for a very comfortable ride, even on a hot day or on a cold day. We've got convectors up here from the house heating system, in addition to the dash heat. Especially on a mid-entry like this one, you don't have that entry door there, so there's not an opportunity for cold air to go out and hot air to come in like you would with a front entry. Some of the other controls, you've got the leveling. We've got a couple of features that we've talked about it before. We've got what we call the Smart Ride. As you're driving down the road, if you activate Smart Ride and you reach 50 miles per hour, the coach is going to drop 1 inch, which is going to give you even a lower center of gravity than we already have, which is favorable, and it's going to give you better ride and handling characteristics. If you get in a spot and you need to raise it, you can put it on high ride or you can put it on low ride permanently. So we've got some flexibility there. You can operate your auto and manual leveling from here, as well as the master pad up above. And notice how big all these icons are. For us guys with bifocals, we can just look through our normal glasses and operate the coach. We moved the iPad over there. We took some of the features on the iPad that allow house controls and put it in this big screen with larger icons, easier for the driver to operate. So if he wants to turn on the ACs, if he wants to turn on the master lights, he can do that easily from this area. You can control the cab AC from here without having to go into the iPad or to the Intrepid screen. So that was a big improvement in the 2026 models. Now, with the iPad leaving, we've got a phone charger here, so we can charge our phone.
And then if you slam on the brakes, you're not worried about that
That's right.
falling down the dash.
Yeah, and we also have the charger option over here to the left if somebody wanted to have that charger as well. But I really like this being here because I can just leave it there, grab it if I need it, not have to have cables or anything. And also, we've got Apple CarPlay now, so you can use this navigation in conjunction with your iPhone. And it'll also work with the Android versions as well. I've enjoyed this dash for the last 10 years since we've had it. It's such a easy dash to read when you're driving. You can see if you're in comfort mode or sport mode. That's something that Newell has that you won't see in the conversion industry, for example. so we can change the performance of the suspension with just the touch of a button. And that's part of the continuous damping control that we have from ZF. We're the only ones in the industry that have that system. The other thing we have is the electronic steering assist, which you can change the amount of pressure that you want on it, but it allows the steering to correct itself and always be returning to center. So you're not having to fight those winds as hard. You're not having to fight those excessively crowned roads. So it makes the driving experience even better. Now up above we have three camera views. You've got a rear view, and that view can be changed to whatever view you want to see. So you can change it from the rear to the side to the fuel door, whatever you want to change it to. And then you have the right and left views as well. Those will always remain the same. Now up above, we've got the N1 system, as we've discussed before, which is more of a solid state electrical system. Spider Control Systems is the company we've used for years, but now we've got their multiplexing functions in more of a solid state format. Instead of physical fuses that you might have to replace, we've got resettable fuses here. You can go to different panels and see if there's a problem, and then if there is, you can just reset it. It'll even tell you, which area that needs to be looked at. Here we have our leveling system, same thing that you had down in the dash, but this is the master pad. So you've got your leveling system, and you can operate it, have it do auto leveling. You can do manual leveling as well. Slide room control is here. You've also got the slide controls on your iPad. So if you want to go outside, if you're up next to a tree or something you want to watch, you can put the slide rooms out from the iPad.
Really nice to be able to run your slide rooms from outside of the coach, but you also have all your big camera screens here, so you can kind of monitor your 360 cameras while you're putting the slide rooms out. Now, talking about your cameras here, I'm seeing a couple newer options for a roof fore, a roof aft camera.
What we did is put some cameras on the very forward part and the very rear part, so that if you're backing in or pulling in, and there might be some low-hanging limbs, you're going to catch them before you hit them.
It's a little dark in here right now, but we can still see that ceiling, and we're getting a little bit of light there.
Right.
We could see the roof of this motorhome. Really incredible.
Sure.
And one other question I have: when you hit the turn signal, going left or right, does it automatically show you one of the cameras?
It does. If you look over here inside the dash.
Oh wow! Right there on your actual dash.
Yes. Yep. So we can go left or right, and it'll come up right there.
Very cool. And right now we've got the lights off, so it's not as clear as it normally would be. But
well, we've got the slides out, so you can't see down the side of the coach now. But yeah, it's very clear.
Yeah, when you're driving a 45-foot coach, to just have that second look there, huge advantage.
Absolutely.
I'm noticing a really nice floor mat up front here, and a really cool rug there as well. Are those built in-house here at Newell Coach?
No, those are sent out. What this is a combination of a backing on the type of material you'll find on some very high-end boats, decking. The clients that designed this coach, they wanted this hair on hide rug. It's really cool, and it's got a non-skid backing, so it's not going to move around, but they did a real good job with that. You have to be somewhat careful with the in-floor heating. You don't want to get it too high whenever you have large rugs on it, and that's with any product that has in-floor heating. It's just it traps that heat. But with ours, if you put it on 2 or 3, that's plenty of heat for the coach. We have it in the slide rooms as well as the main floor.
Now this has the drop floor slides as well. You can see a small little crease here that's a little bit different than the grout line here, where you can tell that this floor actually drops down. Does this part of the floor have heating in it as well?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Wow, so even when you're sitting at your booth, your feet are going to be warm while you're having a meal?
Right. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Wouldn't make sense otherwise. And I know that's hard sometimes with some slide rooms because of the way they're built, but these slide rooms, these floors will drop flat, and the slide room comes over the top of it. So there's no hydraulic rams, there's no trying to pull the slide up over a bearing or anything like that. They're like a drawer that's solid, and they just come in and out with a 12-volt motor.
is super smooth. And I know these valid slide rooms are not cheap. You've got the tallest headroom, you know, in the industry, not only in the coach here, but the tallest slide rooms in the industry as well.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people that they don't think about that until they're in a coach. Make sure you're not going to hit your head on the transition piece from the hallway to the bedroom, and that you can get underneath the slides.
Yes, sir. And sometimes too, I mentioned I like that there's no cabinets above this couch.
You don't want to have to bang your head when you're standing up. Over here, we've got it, but these are recliners, and so typically they're going to have the recliners out a little bit when they're sitting in the recliners.
Well,
if they're watching TV.
All the way in, I think I can sit down and it's tucked back enough where it's not. There's probably about at least 8 inches or so from the start of the slide room that they tucked that back just to have a little more clearance there.
Yeah, so you can get up easily without hitting your head.
This recliner here, I just sat down to kind of show that headroom, but man, I could sit here. It looks just like a real modern chair. Yeah. But man, this is super comfortable.
Oh yeah. When you fully extend it, it will get you almost flat if you want it to be.
The driver console here, I know Newell's been using these for decades.
Yeah.
Just if it's not broke, don't fix it. You can slide it around.
Right.
Use it as a cup holder while you're driving, and then it's a nice centerpiece. It looks like there's some storage here behind.
There is. There's some storage behind the recliners. You can see some of the shelving back here.
Yes, sir.
And on your side, they may have wine racks there. Nope, it's more shelving.
This is something really cool, that waterfall countertop here, but I really like the design style. Right. With the darker countertops, they really pulled that off.
Yeah, this is a porcelain countertop. We really have to use porcelain whenever we use the InvisiCook cooktop that has the induction underneath the cooktop.
Can you show us that? That's new technology.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it really gives you a lot more space to work with if you're not going to be cooking, but you want to have like an air fryer or a crock pot or something out here to use and still have the ventilation. You have the controls here in the drawer. The cooktop itself is underneath the porcelain, the induction unit here and an induction unit here, and there's a couple of silicone pads that you can put your cookware on top. And then you can make sure you're positioned in the right place by looking at the controls here, and it'll tell you if you're off a little bit or if you need to make an adjustment. That's been a great feature. We do, like I said, we do have to use the porcelain countertops, but we really lucked out in that we also found a quartz that matched the porcelain for the dinette top.
Yeah, that's incredible. I would have thought that they matched, for sure. And again, that same style, a really cool lean. Now that's a really cool design. And then that's going to be, you said quartz, but then over here we've got porcelain?
Right. Normally we have to find a quartz that maybe will be a good contrast because it's hard to find a good match. But in this case, we found a really good match with the porcelain. Yeah,
and then that leaves you with that massive countertop there.
Oh yeah.
What a big upgrade to not be, jacking around with cooktop covers and having have a place to store them, or just limiting your countertop space. I mean, you could serve a buffet in this coach.
Oh yeah, yeah, and again, even in a mid-entry. Part of that again is the lack of limitations that we have. When you have a flat floor slide and you're not trying to build a countertop on top of a little step up and hide it that way, you're picking up another 4 or 5 inches. Another thing that we did, normally you don't see, drawer pulls. These have some really cool hardware. You can see the knurling on here matches on all the pulls as well as the small pulls up above. Even the faucet
matches, yes sir.
And when we get back to the handle on the mid-bath door, you've got a match there.
Yes, sir, and they've got a really high-end texture here. I mean, when you're grabbing it, you're not sliding around, just a really nice feel to it.
Yep.
Now, does this have a dishwasher?
It does not. They elected, instead of the dishwasher, because they do a lot of entertaining when they're out at the track racing. So what they did is, we'll start down at this end. They went ahead and got an ice maker to make a whole lot more ice than what you normally get out of the refrigerator unit. You can see here what they've got, just a little utility
this kind of goes over the sink if you want to dry your dishes on it. I think this is kind of cool. I like to just show these off. Just such a cool, well thought out. But look how easily, I mean, that was 2 seconds. I slapped that in there.
Right. And then what they did here to have more room for food or beverages. Here you've got
refrigeration.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, 2 refrigerator drawers. Now, if they ever decide to sell or trade this coach, this area we could put in a drawer and a dish drawer. It's plumbed for it. So
Let's set up for some serious entertaining right now.
oh yeah, yeah. And again, they're getting a good bit of storage. You got the storage up top.
And they do have some stuff. The folks actually already took delivery, but they're allowing us to film
Yes,
it.
they were very
Huge thanks
gracious,
to them.
very gracious to do it because we really like this coach. This turned out so beautiful. And they just took delivery last week. I brought it back after their shakedown, and they had to leave town anyway, so it worked out perfect.
Oh, well, we really appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely. No,
now, below the sink, does it have a residential garbage disposal? I guess they've got some of their
It
stuff in there
does.
already.
It does. Back up in here, we do have the garbage disposal tied in. It goes straight to the wastewater tank. Here you've got the silverware drawer and some more storage.
You are giving up a little bit of space in your drawer for that Invisa cooktop,
Right.
but I mean, this amount of space versus like a cooktop cover, it's a no-brainer.
Well, and when you see how deep these countertops are as compared to what you'll find in Class A motorhomes or the bus conversion industry, we've already got a lot more depth. We've got 30-inch slides that are going out, so we've got much more to play with there.
Well, then more height in the slide rooms as well, so that's going to equal more storage as
Absolutely,
well.
all the way through the coach.
Yes, sir.
That way. Anyway, we've got plenty of storage there, and then a deep storage. They've got their it looks like a espresso machine.
It looks like the real deal there.
Oh yeah, but they've got plenty of room for other like a air fryer or crock pot there.
Toasters, that kind of stuff. Yes, sir.
Yep. So they've got good space. But then we're not done with the storage. Even little areas like spice racks. One of the things I really like what they did, a lot of times these glass cabinets have a mirrored back, and this, it makes it much more subtle. It matches the laminate here, and just a really classy look. I really like what they did there.
I really like that two-tone with kind of the black and tan kind of feel to it.
Right. Something I haven't pointed out, and I probably should have, you'll notice that on the newer models, we've gone standard to a different valance over the windows.
Sir, yeah. You're talking about the valance here. It's a kind of a new modern. Is the slide room face a little bit different too?
Yes. It's got the same look, but what it allowed us to do over here is to give even more indirect lighting. You can turn these puck lights all the way down to a very low, or turn them off, and you can still, this coach can still be lit up.
Oh, the ambient lighting in these is just incredible. You have lots of bright puck lighting, but so much indirect lighting, right here behind this slide face, again, above that slide room face, and then, in the valance like you were recommending. I mean, even below the countertop right here, below the cabinets, just above the heated floors, around the windows there.
Oh, yeah.
Just over the top.
That kind of lighting, a lot of people prefer because these puck lights can get kind of bright, but the indirect lighting, you can't get enough of it.
Yeah, we want to show everything off. So we've got all the lights turned on today, but definitely if you want to set the mood right, you're set up in a Newell coach.
That's right. So down below the glass cabinet, this is a wine captain. So you've got a place for several bottles of wine with a lock down below if you want to lock it up whenever you're headed out.
Really nice look the way you brought the face of the cabinets over the face of that refrigerator.
Yes.
But then it still has that glass inlay. Just really cool touch there.
Right, yeah, it breaks it up.
And across from that, we've got this accent wall here. Newell's been doing a lot of accent walls lately.
Well, again, more use of that accent lighting. This is actually a wallpaper that they selected as well. They found a look that they liked and sent it to Amber, and Amber was able to locate a wallpaper that matched what they saw in a magazine, I believe. Another thing they did that I really like, a lot of times the glass cabinet will go up here, but they've made it more of a curio cabinet. They'll go ahead and put probably family photos or some other artwork up in here.
Now, is there a step cover for this mid-entry?
There is. It comes straight out. You've got a platform that you can actually stand on.
And then I see this window cover here on the door window matches the cabinets as well, and then even that same wood and this art inlay here really ties in together.
Well, they went without a window because they wanted the paint to come through all the way through, so uninterrupted. And plus, if you want to see who's out there, you can look on your iPad or look on the Intrepid panel. Or look through the window of the slide. You can see who's out there.
One of the big advantages of a mid-entry is, when you're outside hanging out and you're coming into your coach, you're either wanting to go to the restroom or the refrigerator.
That's right.
You've got them both within arm's reach as soon as you walk in.
That's right. You don't have to come around the chair, or and also for just unloading groceries. You got the kitchen here, you got the bathroom behind me, you got the fridge here. Everything you need during the day. You can bring in the groceries, load the refrigerator, all within 2 steps of the steps.
Or the wine cabinet.
Yeah, you can stock up your wine cabinet. And then the mid bath. Again, notice how the handle matches the hardware in the Galley.
Matches the countertop too, behind the toilet there. And
right. This is a quartz countertop that's backlit, underlit.
Really cool the way they brought in that same material from the countertop and used that as a backsplash. Really a nice design in this coach.
Yeah, and again, more storage with the ceiling height. You've got more storage there. You've got more storage above the toilet.
Now, usually these doors will swing back 180 degrees, but we do have this. I'm gonna shut you in the bathroom for a second. We do have the full length mirror here, real quick, but we can just press a button and then open that bedroom door. That's opening up right now, and then now this will swing back 180 degrees. Just to make life easier.
Yeah, if you wanted to leave it open, you could do that. Even though this is a mid-entry, you've got more shelving for pantry here, or this can be turned into closet if somebody wanted to make it closet. Right now they're using it for more pantry, and you've got more deep drawers, 2 of them.
And I want to point out, heavy-duty drawers, they've got a case of bottled water in this drawer.
Yeah.
A lot of motorhome drawers, you start putting cases of water in them.
They start wobbling.
You go over a couple of bumps, and all of a sudden you've got, drawer holders breaking and stuff.
Sure.
But, Newell builds, it's a very robust build. You really feel that in these cabinets.
Yeah. Well, the cabinets themselves, whenever you see that it's not just stapling glue with pine timber, they're solid built cabinets. They're using screws, tub screwing, and then filling in those, making it finished out real nice.
A lot of work goes into this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with these underlit countertops in the bedroom, they were not holding back on this spec, I can tell.
This is all quartz countertops again, but they're all underlit. There's no need for the puck lights. When you've got that kind of lighting, you can really light this up. And those are dimmable. You can bring them down to just a low glow if you need to. Love the sconce lights that they chose.
And the Fendi blanket, Fendi pillows.
I
can imagine that's an expensive blanket.
Yeah, well, that's commensurate with what they're buying.
And usually Amber and the design team are kind of building the bedding in-house or upholstering the bedding in-house here, but when owners want to bring in their special stuff, they can do that.
Yeah, and again, it was a collaborative effort, and we let the clients collaborate to the degree they want to. We have some clients that say, hey, here's some general things that we like, general colors. You put something together. They're not used to doing that. And some want to be more hands-on with certain things that they want incorporated. And it's up to Amber and Sydney to bring it all together. And they do a fantastic job every time.
They absolutely knocked it out of the park with this design, and then tying in the owner's Fendi blankets and stuff. And then I know these underlit countertops, that has to be a super expensive option, I can imagine.
They are, and it varies depending on the size. Here you've got it in both bathrooms, the nightstands, and the top to the drawers over here.
Now, what kind of closet space do we have in the bedroom here?
Well, we've got closet space here, closet space over there, and we're going to see some more closet space in the bathroom. Then you've got drawers down below on each side, and then you've got a big bank of drawers, and you can see how deep the drawers are. We don't have a step up here that takes out all of that space. We're making use of it because it's a flat floor slide again. So you've got plenty of storage in this area.
This is a laundry
That's
hamper?
a dirty clothes hamper.
Huge laundry hamper there.
It's little things like that people miss whenever they get into a motorhome. We've got the ability to go ahead and incorporate what you would expect. I really like these handles, these hanging hooks also.
Yeah, always nice to have that. And then also a downlit hanging bar. And in this closet, I'm seeing a subwoofer back here. Is that part of the factory sound system?
It's an option. They can choose to have it, or they can have a TV with a sound bar, either one. In this particular case, they chose the larger TV. This coach also has a secret compartment, but I don't want to show you how we open it.
You gotta keep it secret?
Gotta keep that part secret.
Hold on, let's bring the camera over here for a second while Phil opens up this secret compartment. In just a second, we don't want to give away all of the the little hidden switches in this, but you guys are gonna like this. So boom, you found a magic button somewhere.
Yeah, we've got a magic switch somewhere, and we can custom design this area for whatever people want.
With a safe back there as well, and it looks like there might be some mounting kind of stuff.
You can even use the backside for hanging necklaces or jewelry that's not of great value, but it's a place to put it so you don't have to store it inside the safe necessarily.
Yeah, always nice to have a hidden compartment. You never know what you need to hide from the kids or grandkids.
Well, the other thing is it's got 440 volts that come through that safe, so if you touch it and you don't know the code to disable it, like if I were to touch it now, I'd get shocked.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh. You got me on that one. And then we've got more overhead cabinets. Now, I'm assuming this doesn't have the projector, but a nice spot for throw pillows.
Lots more storage. When you walk into a normal coach that's a Class A motorhome or a bus conversion, you're just not going to find this kind of storage, and it means a lot when you finally move into one and you have it, and you just didn't realize that you didn't have it before.
A lot of Newell coach owners just stay in the Newell coach family for decades and decades.
Oh yeah,
because once you get to this level, it's hard to change.
Oh sure. There's also storage underneath the bed. The bed comes up, and you've got.
Show us real quick. Is that another hidden button?
Well, it's actually easier to see that one.
Okay, we can show that one off.
Yeah,
That's every Newell coach is going to have another. This is kind of, I'll call it a hidden compartment, but we'll show you where the button is for this one.
This is generally where we keep the seat cushions and the seat backs for the expandable dinette. The seats come out with the touch of a button, and you can extend the dinette seats about a foot or so. And then we also have a leaf for the table top.
Now, when the slide rooms come in, though, you're going to need to put that table back in the...
Yes, it could get by with it, but it's going to cut off your hallway.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, I love the look of that pocket door again with that natural wood look. Really complements the accent walls very nicely, but I'm excited to see what's going on in the back of the coach here.
Yeah, that's another work of art back there.
And now there's no step up into the bathroom, and I was recently talking to a gentleman that's 6'10", and he wanted to get a Newell coach, but he needs to get one. He's looking more on the pre-owned market, but he needs one with the step behind the shower, because you gain that much more headroom in the shower there.
You're going to see those more in the 21 models and newer. There might be some that were before that, but we started developing these floor plans that took advantage of some of the space we were having to cover up when we put this wall further back. But now we're bringing that wall forward, which allows us to use all that space before we get to the step up where the engine is.
Yes, sir. So. And another underlit countertop.
Oh yeah, beautiful quartz countertop.
And that sink too, that's got a design to it. Is it like a glass bowl
It
sink?
is, and it's got some underlighting as well. You may not want to have the whole countertop lit up, but just the lighting around the sink, you can do that.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever seen this colored lighting here on the backlit mirror. Is that the first time we've seen that?
I've not seen it before, but they've got it. And again, it could be just an accent light to have for at night to be able to come into the bathroom. It's not too bright.
It matches the exterior paint job too.
It does,
yeah.
Yes, it absolutely does. Typical large Newell shower. This has got a polish finish on the shower wall, but it matches the countertop and the galley. When you come in, you can see the knurling on the shower head is matching all the door handles.
Very well lit. There's a lot of puck lighting.
Oh yeah,
in that shower as well, and
a lot of reflection. Here, and
got the hidden drain.
Place for people to shave their legs.
And then Phil, what are you, about just a little under 6 foot, or how tall are you?
5'9.5".
And can you even touch the ceiling in this?
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah, I mean that ceiling's got to be at least 7 feet.
Yeah, because we don't have the step up here. We put the shower in this part of the bath, so you've got even more space. So.
Yes, sir. And then a vent up there as well.
You've got vent fans in both bathrooms, one in here and one in the mid bath. Now, one of the things that's kind of nice with both of those fans going, if you wanted to open up the windows in the front and just have the screen there, and then maybe the window in the back, you can pull a lot of air through here, or have the door open with the screen closed.
It's a pretty powerful fan that'll create that suction.
And you've got both of those that you can use if you don't want to run the ACs.
Yes, sir. And I'm loving this material and this pattern. Now, I don't know, is this quartz or porcelain that they use back then?
It looks like porcelain that we had in the front, now it could be ceramic, but I think it's porcelain.
Well, it was quartz on the table, right?
Right.
And then porcelain on the
Countertop. This looks more like the countertop design.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but then they also brought it back here behind the head here, and then behind this heated towel bar. We also got a bidet toilet, all the bells and whistles in this coach. And then some more, storage overhead here. Again, just lined with carpets, super clean.
Then cedar lined closets. And then we've got a door that can slide back so that if you want to leave it open, you can. Here is the leaf for the dining room table and a pedestal that goes underneath it whenever you extend it, so it gives it more support. And you can see the cedar lined closet goes all the way back into that area, and you've got a little bit more height if you have some dresses or something that you wanted to put back there. You've got your washer and dryer unit with the same type doors that you can slide back if you just wanted to leave them exposed all the time.
Phil, I know this coach has already been purchased. Congratulations
Sure.
to the new owners of this coach. Now, if someone wants to custom build a coach like this or purchase one of your show coaches coming through the production line right now or some pre-owned inventory, who should they get a hold of?
So they can call, they can text, or WhatsApp me at 541-953-3113 or email me at philc@newellcoach.com.
Awesome, Phil. We really appreciate you and the team at Newell Coach.
Yeah.
Also appreciate all of you out there subscribing to the channel and sharing these videos. We hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Have a good one, everybody.